Test. Test, test, 1, 2, 3, 4. Test, 1, 2, 3, 4. Test, test, 1, 2, 3, 4. Test, 1, 2, 3, 4. Test, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Check, check, testing.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Haji. Check, check. Yeah, it's working. અત્યારે? હા. Really? I'm good, I'm good. No problem. Did we find somebody on the girls' side? हाँ, हाँ, perfect. Yes, please.
Jai Janendra.
For those who might have people calling in, we're using the JCSC YouTube channel. You have to go to live. So if you're texting any of your friends that are calling in, it's not the Zoom link. It is the JCYC link on YouTube. They have JCSC link on YouTube, and they have to click on the button that says live. And inside live, there's a bunch of feeds. One of the feeds is the English Pratikraman.
Just a small correction. It is the JCSC live channel, not the JCSC channel. JCSC live. And in that live,
You will see a live link on the right bottom. Anyway, it's too much. You won't have time to pass on the information to people anyway. So this is 3 minutes warning. If anybody wants to do anything last minute outside, this is the time. We will start between 2 to 3 minutes. Most of you have been here. You do know how and what we do. The changes this time, number one, Purvi Auntie and Parag Uncle are going to help because after Samaik, I will have to leave. So I will not be here all through, number one. Number two, I have a request to keep the AC on. So we are going to have the AC on. We'll keep the doors closed, and we'll turn the fans off so that the noise doesn't come in between hearing. And it's going to be on the screen, so I don't think light will be an issue. In general, it takes about 2 hours or a little less. In last 24 years, this is 24th year, we have never crossed 2 hours. So if you look at the clock and if you have plans, please give 2 hours. With that, I don't think everybody is almost ready. So we're going to literally start. If you don't have the handout, please feel free to share from the neighbor. Do your best not to cross male and female side. I understand there are some young children on either side with parent of the opposite sex. We are not rigid, but we should observe as much as possible. So, yes. Yes, Mupatti will be explained by Purvi Auntie. And actually, if you look at the handout, the last page is Mupatti. Okay, we'll all take a minute. If you want to go to the last page, all those who have handouts to read the Mupatti explanation. So that much less efforts we have to put. It explains why we do it and how we do it. Thank you. Might as well do it. So this is inspection, or called Padilehana of Mupatti. And we recite a sutra, which we will recite when the time comes. But you open it up, hold it in two hands, make a rotation twice. Then you fold it halfway, and then you fold it again with 1 inch. And then you take it up and down 3 times the left hand. You hold it on the right hand and take it down, up and down 3 times. And then the last part is you sprinkle over your left hand and then you put it down. Okay? I think we should read when we do it. We should read the details. So now, what can I help you with?
I think we should get started. I think we'll just explain to everyone, right, that we want to try and... Jai Jinendra, everyone. Are we ready to begin? Yeah? So first of all, Jai Jinendra. Hope everyone is in good health and good spirits. Very proud of everyone here to come and do the Pratikraman. This is the one time in the year, as you all know, Pratikraman is really about going inside of yourself and self-reflection. I think we have so many young members here. So everyone, let's just, as we go through the Pratikraman, we are going to be reading along. And so just take the time to reflect on what is being read. And I think if you do that, you'll get so much more out of the Pratikraman. Now, as you all know, and if you've done this before, we actually have a handout in case you don't have it. I think this time we also have it on the screens. So the handout is what we are going to be following, right? It should look like this. And I think we have a lot of folks that have actually signed up to read different sections, so we'll follow along. If you do need to stand up at all, you have the charoro with you, so please stand up holding the charoro, and then when you sit back down, then you can put it down next to you. The main thing here is to try and not disturb anyone else as during the Pratikraman. Now, we do have 2 microphones, I think one on the ladies' side and one on the men's side. So when it is your time to read, please make sure you have the microphone and you articulate the words clearly and you read it, not too fast, but not too slow. Again, the main reason, as Anand Uncle and Nitin Uncle explained, we do have this being broadcast live. So it's important that those who are from home watching this and following along, that they're also able to listen to what is being read here. All right, so with that, let's begin. Do we normally read the introduction? Okay. So we'll start with lesson 1. And I'm just going to, with each lesson, I'll just say out the name of the individual that has signed up to read. Kokila Doshi. So will somebody please make sure to pass the microphone. Once I call your name, if you'll just put your hand up, then Ria, who's in charge of the microphone, at least on the ladies' side, will be able to find the right person to give it to them. And we'll do the same on the men's side as well.
Lesson 1, Purpose of doing Pratikraman. Pratikraman means turning back to the self. Transgression of any limitation is called atikraman. This is popularly known as atichar. Atichar can be said as a lapse from code of conduct. So, literally, Pratikraman means turning back from transgressions. As a Jain householder, we are supposed to observe 12 minor vows against 5 major vows observed by monks and nuns. During Pratikraman, we overview our activities for any transgressions which might have occurred among these vows. So Pratikraman reminds us to live within set limitations. There is a five-fold code of conduct pertaining to 1. Knowledge, 2. Perception, 3. Behavior, 4. Austerity, and 5. Vigor. There are also various restrictions laid down to regulate our essential activities. Monks are supposed to avoid all sorts of violence, lying, stealing, sensuousness, and possessions. Laymen have their limitations and cannot avoid them totally. Restrictions in these respects have therefore been modified. There are 5 minor vows, anuvrats, 3 subsidiary vows, gunvrats, laid down for augmenting the effectiveness of the minor vows, and 4 disciplinary vows, shikshavrats and shikshavrats. Any lapse or transgression of these vows is called atikraman. Therefore, we undertake pratikraman by pondering over the code and the restraints one by one and take into consideration the faults and lapses pertaining to them with a view to atonement. During this pratikraman, even if we might not have taken these vows, we will atone for lapses pertaining to them and wish that one of these days we can take those vows. This way, we try to ask for forgiveness for our ill actions and purify ourselves and improve our future activities. This enables us to shed off some of our previous karmas and also to slow down or prevent the inflow of the new karmas.
Lesson 2, Rayan Jain.
Namo Adihantan. Namo Adihantanam. Namo Siddhanam. Namo Adihantanam. I bow down to Adihant. Namo Siddhanam. I bow down to Siddhas. Namo Ayadhiyanam. I bow down to Acharyas. Namo Uvajayanam. I bow down to Upadhyas. Namo Love Savasahun. I bow down to the universal fraternity of sadhus and sadhus. This fivefold obedience destroys all sins and is foremost among all the auspicious activities.
Thank you. So with that, we are starting Shamai here. Lesson 3 is Charmi Kothari.
The preceptor effectively controls 5 sense organs and observes 9 guidelines limitations of celibacy. She is free from 4 passions of anger, ego, deceit, and greed. She is thus equipped with these 18 attributes. She practices 5 great vows of non-violence, truth, non-accepting anything unless specifically offered, celibacy, and non-possession. She is capable to observe 5-fold code of view, perception, conduct, austerity, and vigor. She observes 5 careful actions pertaining to movements, utterance, desires, acceptance, and disposal. She effectively controls 3 aspects of mind, attributes.
So that was our Panchendya Sutra. Lesson 4, the obeisance to teachers. This is done to present sadhus or to Lord, this is done in presence of sadhus or to Lord Arihant in the northeast. Lesson 4 is Arav Jinesha.
With 3 times clockwise movements of the folded hands, I bow down and kneel down to you. I honor you, Lord, and I respect you. You are blessed, you are auspicious, and you are divine. You are learned, and you give peace to all souls.
Lesson 5, Milan R. Shah. This is repentance for sins occurred while walking.
I desire to free myself from all my sins. I may have pained living beings while walking on the road, while coming or going. I may have crushed living beings, seeds, plants, dew, anthills, spider webs, live water, or live earth. Whatever living beings or souls with 1 sense, 2 senses, 3 senses, 4 senses, or 5 senses, that I may have inflicted pain, crushed, attacked, covered with dust, rubbed, collided with another, tormented by turning on one side or completely upside down, moved from one place to another, frightened, bothered, alarmed, or separated from life, may all such sins be dissolved. Dasamijami Dugaram.
Lesson 6 is Vihan Sangri. Well, this is lesson 6 actually. Lesson 6 is Vihan Sangri, uplifting the soul. Preparation for meditation.
Purviji, it's lesson 7 for him.
Well, I'm reading here, and I think we've got like several different signs of that. It
Or,
says
or I
lesson
can say
6.
6 and I can give you 7.
Okay, go ahead.
Lesson 6, uplifting the soul, preparation for meditation. I do Kayotsarg, that is, forsake all activities by adopting a motionless posture for repenting and achieving further purification, and for nullifying and destroying my sins and karmas, by remaining at one place for uplifting of my blemished soul. Let my Kayotsarg be unbroken and not violated from exceptions such as breathing in or out, coughing, sneezing, yawning, burping, passing bodily gases, dizziness, vomiting sensation, fainting, subtle bodily movements such as swallowing sputum or flickering of eyes, or by thieves, king, fire, fierce animals, etc. Until I complete it by mentally reciting Navkar Pad to the Arihants, I'll keep my body steady at one place in complete silence and meditation, and keep away from all sinful activities.
Lesson 7, Vihan Sangri. Haji. Oh. Sorry, yes, we do. Thank you, Paran. So this is now, we're doing the 4, it's a kausak of 4 nokar. So each person, please, in your mind, silently, please say nokar 4 times. Namo Orientan. Lesson 7, prayer to the 24 Tirthankaras and all the Siddhas.
I chant, appreciate, and praise Arihant Lords and Kavali Lords who are destroyers of karma, enemies, conquerors of love and hatred, founders of fourfold sagas and cause luminescence in the entire universe. I bow down to them. The names of these 24 Tirthankars are Sri Rishabdev Swami, Sri Ajit Nath Swami, Sri Sambhavnath Swami, Sri Abhinandan Swami, Sri Sumati Nath Swami, Sri Padma Prabhu Swami, Sri Suparshvanath Swami, Sri Chandra Prabhu Swami, Sri Suvidinath Swami, Sri Sheetalnath Swami, Sri Shrey Ansnath Swami, Sri Vasu Pujan Swami, Sri Vimalnath Swami, Sri Anantnath Swami,
Shri Dharmanath Swami, Shri Shantinath Swami, Shri Kuntanath Swami, Shri Adanant Swami, Arnath Swami, Shri Mallinath Swami, Shri Muni Suvrat Swami, Shri Naminath Swami, Shri Neminath Swami, Shri Parshvanath Swami, and Shri Mahavir Swami. May these 24 Tirthankars and other Keval genius who have been removed, the karma particles who have destroyed the ended cycle of aging and death. Please be pleased with me, O Lord Siddhas. You are supreme in the universe, free from karmas. I have praised you verbally, bow down to the physically and worshipped you and mentally. Hence, do bestow upon me the benefit of true faith and deep meditation, and may you give me the supreme position of Siddha. O Lord Siddhas, purer than the moon, brighter than the sun, calmer than the oceans, confer upon me the blessed liberation.
Good. So now we will do the Mopati. And please will follow Nitin Bhai here as he says it.
Thank you. Oh, forgiving Gurudev, I am giving up all my wrongful acts with all my strength and bow down to you with my head near to your feet. With that, I'll speak loud because it's going to be hard to do both together. Open 2 times, then fold it in the middle, and then fold it about an inch from the top, and then now turn the mupati around to one side and mentally say, I discard 3 types of perception, obstructing, delusion, karma. For the other side, I discard 3 types of attachment, sensual, affection, and vision related. Now, you open the mupati as we folded it, take it in your right hand, and you're going to take it up from below up while reciting, I accept right Dev, right Guru, and right religion. And coming down, I discard wrong Dev, wrong Guru, and wrong religion. You do it second time, going up from the wrist to shoulder, I accept right knowledge, right faith, and right conduct. Moving down, I discard wrong knowledge, wrong faith, and wrong conduct. Third time, from wrist to up, I accept control of activities of mind, speech, and body. Moving it down, I discard auspicious activities of mind, inauspicious activities of mind, speech, and body. And then, lastly, you gently vibrate on the wrist, or the back of the left hand. And now we are done. And then you put it in front of you, and we are going to do the Vana. You can watch Paryushan about how she does.
be following with lesson 8. Lesson 8 is Jinesh Mehta. Jinesh Mehta is right in the center here. This microphone can be passed to him.
Lesson 8, adopting the vow of Samaik. Kamemi Bhantane Sutra. I abandon the mind, body, and speech of sinful activities, the area being the entire universe, the time limit being the 48 minutes, and above that, until I do not ritually complete the vow with my pure attitude by 6 limitations attentively and vigilantly. O respected lords, I perform the vow of Samaik. O reverend lords, I undertake Samaik and vow to abandon all sinful activities in 2 ways. That is, I will not do and I will not get it done, and by 3 means of mind, speech, and body, until my vow lasts. O reverend lords, I refrain from sins, I censor my sins, and even more so in the presence of you, I vow to keep my soul away from sins.
That was the Kamemi Bhante Sutra. Now lesson 9 is the Obeisance to the virtuous, Kokila Doshi, part 1 for Siddhas and Arihants.
Obeisance to the virtuous, part 1, Siddhs and Arihants. I offer respect to Lord Siddhs and Arihants who are pioneers of religion, founders of fourfold Sangh, self-enlightened, supreme, strong as lions, pure like the best Pundaric lotuses, like the best Gandhasti elephants. In the universe, you are the supreme, master of all, beneficent to all, and illuminating like a lamp. You are endowers of fearlessness, bestower of true vision, guides to the religious path, givers of shelter to those troubled by life and death, donors of religion, preachers, leaders, guides, and charities of the right faith. You end the transmigration of souls from the cycles of birth. You are an island for the souls sinking in the life ocean, saviors of souls. You are bearers of absolute knowledge and vision. Your ignorance is totally gone. You are victors of craving and aversion and other cause for others to win over the same. You have crossed over the ocean of transmigration and caused others to do so. You are self-enlightened ones and inspirator of enlightened faith to others. You have self-liberated from karmas and are liberators to others. You are the omniscient lords, have omnivision. You are free from calamity, steadfast, free from diseases, infinite and endless, unperishable and unmolested. O Lord Siddhas, you have reached a state from where rebirth is ruled out and you are liberated, while, O Lord Arihants, you have reached to the state from where rebirth is ruled out and you would be liberated. My salutation to those Jineshwaras who have conquered all 7 fears.
Lesson 10, the Uvasagaram Sutra. It's Jia Mehta.
I bow down to Lord Pashanatha, who is served by the demigod Pasha, who is the remover of all afflictions, free from all sorts of karmas, the destroyer of the poison of the poisonous animals, and the abode of bliss and well-being. If one regularly wears the charm of Vishtashfuling, snake charmer, on his neck, planetary animosity, disease, plague, and severe fevers would be calmed down. Aside from the charm, even bowing to you would be highly fruitful, resulting in divine life, etc. All being would not be thereby be in an unhappy or a miserable state. If one gains the truth,
presented by you, which is superior even to the desire-yielding tree, the soul can gain ageless and immortal state without any obstacles. Great, graceful Lord, I have adored you. This is why, with devoted heart, therefore, Lord Pashanatha, kindly bless me with the true knowledge in every remaining birth.
Lesson 11, the Jai Sutra is Kalash Kothari.
Detached Lord, preceptor of the universe, victory to you. My Lord, by your grace, let me have the following: delusion for embodiment, treading along the true path, attainment of desired fruits, abandonment of activities against the public interest, worship of the worthy, benevolent action, contact of the true guides, and lifelong and uninterrupted following of your precepts. Detached Lord, your scriptures forbid and treat it a bondage to ask for any specific reward for the deeds. Still, I pray for servitude at your feet, birth after birth. By bowing to you, let me get destruction of afflictions and karmas, equanimous death, and gain the benefit of the true perception.
Lesson 12 is Krisha Metta. This is obeisance to the virtuous, monks and nuns, sadhus and sadhvis.
I offer respect to all those monks and nuns who go around with the permission of their superiors and follow the principles laid down for them by passionless Lord Arihants and Siddhas. They are my religious teachers, preceptors, and preachers, conferrers of true faith and knowledge, the ornaments of path of Jainism, and are worthy of many titles. I offer obeisance to them now and again, and let it reach wherever they may be.
Now, if everyone in silence do Kausa for one Nokar mantra. Namo Orientanam. Lesson 13 is obeisance to the five supremes. It's really our Nokar mantra, and we are all going to say it 3 times all together. Namo Arihantanam. I bow down to the Arihants. Namo Siddhanam. I bow down to the Siddhas. Namo Ayariyanam. I bow down to the Acharyas. Namo Uvajayanam. I bow down to the Upadhyayas. Namo Loe Sarva Sahunam. I bow down to the universal fraternity of sadhus and sadhvis. The fivefold obeisance destroys all sins and is the foremost amongst all the auspicious activities. Namo Arihantanam. Namo, bow down to the Arihants. Namo Siddhanam. I bow down to the Siddhas. Namo Ayariyanam. I bow down to the Acharyas. Namo Uvajayanam. I bow down to the Upadhyayas. Namo Loe Sarva Sahuram. I bow down to the sadhus and sadhvis. This fivefold obeisance destroys all sins and is the foremost amongst all auspicious activities. Namo Arihantanam. I bow down to the Arihants. Namo Siddhanam. I bow down to the Siddhas. Namo Ayariyanam. I bow down to the Acharyas. Namo Uvajayanam. I bow down to Upadhyayas. Namo Loe Sarva Sahunam. I bow down to the auspicious activities. And with that, we have basically completed one Samaik, and we are basically now beginning the Pratikraman. So we are in Samaik. And normally the way we conduct Samaik, what Nitin Bhai does, is we start the Pratikraman, and usually at the end or near the end of Pratikraman, Nitin Bhai normally says the Moti Shanti. But we'll this time do something a little different, and at the beginning of Pratikraman, we'll have Nitin Bhai recite the Moti Shanti.
before we do that, if there is anyone who can recite, or who can read, then we don't have to do this. But otherwise, this is what we thought, since unfortunately I need to leave. So we will recite Moti Santi now instead of in the end. Yep. Okay. Bhava bhavya susuta vachanam prastutam sarvametad ye yatrayam tribhuvana guru raharta bhakti bhaj tesam santiri bhavatu bhavata mahardadi prabhava darogya sri duttim trikari kalesh vidvam sahetu bhava bhavya loka iyahi bharatai ravat videha sambhavanam samasta tirtha kunta janma sannyasana praka पानंतर मवदिना विघ्नाय स्वधर्माधिपति सुगोसा घंटा चालनानंतरम सुकल सुरागु रेन्द्रई सह समागत्य सविनय महर्द भट्टारकम गृहीत्वा गत्वा कनकाद्रि गुसुंगे विहित जन्माभिषेक शांति मुद्घोषयति तथा ततोहम कृताम नुकारमिति कृत्वा महाजनो येन गतः संपथा इति भव्यजनैः सह समैत्य स्नात्रपीठे स्नात्रम विदाय शांति मुद्घोषयामि तत्पूजा यात्रा स्नात्रादि महोत्सवानंतर मिति कृत्वा कर्ण दत्वा निसम्यन्ता स्वाहा ओम पुण्याहां प्रियंताम भगवंतो हरतः सर्वदर्शिनी स्त्रीलोकनाथा स्त्रीलोकमहिता स्त्रीलोक पूज्या स्त्रीलोकेश्वरा स्त्रीलोको द्योतकरा ओम ऋषभ अजित संभव अभिनंदन सुमति पद्म प्रभ सुपासु चंद्र प्रभ सुविधि शीतल श्रेयांस वासु पूज्य विमल अनंत धर्म शांति कुंतु और मल्ली मुनिसुव्रत नमी नेमी पार्श्व वर्धमानांताः जिनाः साताः शांतिकरा भवन्तु स्वाहा ओम मुनयो मुनिप्रवरा रिपु विजय दुर्भिक्ष कांतारेषु दुर्गमार्गेषु रक्षन्तु वो नित्यं स्वाहा ओम ह्रीं श्री द्रुति मति कीर्ति कांति बुद्धि लक्ष्मी मेध्या विद्या साधन प्रवेश निवेशेनुषु सुगृहित नामानो जयन्तु तुते जिनेन्द्राः ओम रोहिणी प्रज्ञप्ति व्रज श्रृंखला व्रजकुंसी अपति चक्रा पुरुषदत्ता काली महाकाली गौरी गांधारी सर्वस्त्र महाज्वाला मानवी वैराट्य अच्युप्ता मानस महामानसी षोडश विद्यादेहो रक्षन्तु वो नित्यं स्वाहा ओम आचार्योपाध्याय प्रभूति चातुर्वर्णस्य श्री समण संघस्य शांतिरिभवतु तुष्टिरिभवतु पुष्टिरिभवतु ओम ग्रहाश्चंद्र सूर्यागारक बुध बृहस्पति शुक्र शनैश्वर राहु केतु सहिता सलोकपालाः सोम यमव वरुण कुबेर वास वादित्य स्कंद विनायकोपेता ये चान्येपि ग्रामनगर क्षेत्र देवता दयस्ते सर्वे प्रियंताम अक्षीण कोश कोष्ठगारा नरपतयश्च भवन्तु स्वाहा ओम पुत्र मित्र भातृ कलत्र सौद स्वजन संबंधी बंधुवर्ग सहित नित्यं चामोद प्रमोद कारिणः अस्यमस्य भूमंडलायतन निवासी साधु साध्वी श्रावक साविकाणां रोग प्रसर्ग व्याधि दुखदः भिक्ष दुर्मनस्यो पक्षमनाय शांतिरिभवतु ओम तुष्टि पुष्टि वृद्धि रिद्धि वृद्धि मांगल्यो स्वा सदा पादुर्भतानि पापाति साम्यं तु दुरितानि शत्रवः परामुखा भवन्तु स्वाहा श्रीमते शांतिनाथाय नमः शांति विदायिने त्रैलोक्य स्याड्मरादिश मुकुटार्भ्य चिंताद्रये शांति कर श्रीमान शांति दिशतु मे गुरु शांतिरेव सदा तेषां येषां शांति गृहे गृहे उन्मृष्टि रिष्ट दुष्ट ग्रह गति दुस्व प्रदुनिवितादि संपादित हित संप ग्राम ग्रहण जयंती शांते श्री संघ जग पद राजा सजी सन्निवेशानां गोष्ठिक पूर्व मुख्यानां व्यवहार हैनाय व्यवहारेय संचितम श्री समण संघस्य शांतिरिभवतु श्री जनपदानां शांतिरिभवतु श्री राजाधिपानां शांतिरिभवतु श्री राजसविनेशानां शांतिरिभवतु श्री गोष्ठिकानां शांतिरिभवतु श्री पौरमुख्यानां शांतिरिभवतु श्री पौरजनस्य शांतिरिभवतु श्री ब्रह्मलोकस्य शांतिरिभवतु ओम स्वाहा ओम श्री पार्श्वनाथाय स्वाहा ऐसा शांति प्रतिष्ठा यात्रा स्नात्राद्य वसानेषु शान्तिकलशं गृहीत्वा कुङ्कुमचन्दन कपूर राग गुरु दुपवास कुसुमांजलि समेत स्नात्र चतुष्की काया श्री संघ समेत शुचि शुचि वपु पुष्प वस्त्र चंदना वर्णालम कृतः पुष्पमालां कंठे कृत्वा शांति मुद्घोषयित्वा शांति पानीयं मस्तके दातव्यमिति नृत्यं तु नृत्यं मणिपुष्पवर्ष सुजन्ति गायन्ति च मंगलानि स्तोत्राणि गोत्राणि पठन्ति मंत्राणि कल्याण बाजो हि जिनाभिषेके शिवमस्तु सर्वजगतः परहित निरता भवन्तु भूतगणा दोषां प्रयान्तु नाशं सर्वत्र सुखी भवन्तु लोकाः अहम तित्थरमाया शिवा देवी तुम्ह नयर निवासिनी अहम शिवम तुहम शिवम अशिवो वसम शिवम भवन्तु स्वाहा उपसर्गा समयन्ति सिद्ध्यन्ते विघ्नवलय मन प्रसन्न सामेति पूज्यमाने जिनेश्वरे सर्वमंगल मांगल्यम सर्वकल्याण कारणम प्रधानम सर्वधर्माणम जैनम जयति शासनम जयति शासनम. They say this was recited when gods are born. They are taken by Indras and Devs, and that's when they recite for the peace for the whole universe. Thank you.
Thank you, Nitin Bhai. Lesson 14, Krina Metta. This is the obeisance to the five supremes. Please say it 3 times.
I bow down to Arihantas, Siddhas, Acharyas, Upadhyayas, and to the universal fraternity of sadhus and sadhvis. This fivefold obeisance destroys all sins and is the foremost among all the auspicious activities. I bow down to Arihantas, Siddhas, Acharyas, Upadhyayas, and to the universal fraternity of sadhus and sadhvis. This fivefold obeisance destroys all sins and is the foremost among all the auspicious activities. I bow down to Arihantas, Siddhas, Acharyas, Upadhyayas, and to the universal fraternity of sadhus and sadhvis. This fivefold obeisance destroys all sins and is the foremost among all the auspicious activities.
Lesson 15, Niva Metta.
With 3 times clockwise movements of the folded hands, I bow down and kneel down to you. I honor you, Lord, and I respect you. You are blessed, you are auspicious, and you are divine. You are learned, and you give peace to all souls. With 3 times clockwise movements of the folded hands, I bow down and kneel down to you. I honor you, Lord, and I respect you. You are blessed, you are auspicious, and you are divine. You are learned, and you give peace to all souls.
Lesson 16.
With 3 times clockwise movements of the folded hands, I bow down and kneel down to you. I honor you, Lord, and I respect you. You are blessed, you are auspicious, and you are divine. You are learned, and you give peace to all souls.
Lesson 16, Aaradhana Jain.
Okay. My adorable teachers sitting steady at one place, I pray for your permission to repentance, Pratikraman, or lapses committed during the daytime. I'm doing Pratikraman to prevent the incoming new karmas and to erase previously accumulated karmas, and for pondering over the violations pertaining to vows while attempting to acquire knowledge and perception. My adorable teachers sitting steady at one place, I pray for your permission to repentance, Pratikraman, of lapses committed during the daytime. I'm doing Pratikraman to prevent the incoming new karmas and to erase previously accumulated karmas, and for pondering over the violations pertaining to vows while attempting to acquire knowledge and perception. My adorable teachers sitting steady at one place, I pray for your permission to repentance, Pratikraman, of lapses during the daytime. I'm doing Pratikraman to prevent the incoming new karmas and to erase previously accumulated karmas, for pondering over the violations pertaining to vows while attempting to acquire knowledge and perception.
Lesson 17, Virsha. This is desire for atonement. Virsha.
Oh, forgiving Gurudev, I want to bow down to you, keeping away all faults to the extent of my power. Oh, forgiving Gurudev, I bow my head. I ask you for forgiveness for the faults that have been committed while you're undertaking essential activities during the daytime. Oh, forgiving Gurudev, I will refrain from any 33 unworthy acts pertaining to false notions, evil mind, rude words, anger, pride, cunning, or greed that upset religious vows. Oh, forgiving Gurudev, I resent unworthy acts, and in your presence I atone for the same, and I will keep my soul away from such sins.
Now, if you'll all in silence, please do Kausak for 4 Nokar mantra. Namo Rintan. Lesson 18, Ujjwal Jain. This is learning, studying, and teaching the scriptures.
I reflect on and confess the 14 wrongdoings, atichar, related to learning, studying, or teaching the scriptures in threefold ways, like scriptural texts themselves, their commentaries, or meanings, or all. I might have committed one or more of the following wrongdoings, atichar: reciting the sutras in random order, pronouncing a word or stanza more times than it should be, failure to utter some letters or words during the recitation, uttering extra letters or words during the recitation, uttering either more or less words in combination during the recitation, reciting without proper discipline, reciting in a wretched state of mind, speech, or body, uttering the accented syllables in a poor way, not teaching the scriptures to a deserving person, teaching the scriptures to a non-deserving person who has harmful intentions to prove the right as wrong and the wrong as right, studying the scriptures at improper times, not studying them at proper times, studying at improper places, not studying at proper places. I could have contradicted or not duly respected or not learned the right knowledge. I might have been ungrateful to the gurus. I might have wrongly disputed with a learned person. I might have so behaved as to incur knowledge, obscuring karma. I might have kept my books scattered anywhere and everywhere, or put them on the floor instead of on the stand. I might have used a religious book as a pillow, or touched it with my foot. I might have not taken care of it. I might have misinterpreted, laughed at, or ignored the words of the scripture because of obstinacy, wrong insistence, impudence, as well as evil intention caused by perversity. If I have indulged in any of the above faults or lapses by physical, verbal, or mental activities, directly or indirectly, then I pray that my such faults be dissolved. Tasamichami dukra.
Lesson 19, Arya Jain, True Faith and its Lapses.
I desire to know the true and perfect meaning of the Holy Scriptures, to develop faith towards true God, Guru, and religion, and to serve and to associate with such Gurus who have studied the Holy Scriptures in depth. I desire to abandon the hypocrites who consider sinful acts as religious. I also want to disassociate from those who have deserted religion after right perception. I wish to become a follower of the saints and keep faith in those who follow true religion. There are following 5 major violations pertaining to faith: loss of faith, following wrong faith, doubting about consequences, to be impressed by outward showy performances, or to associate with the wrong. If I have indulged in any of the above five violations by physical, verbal, or mental actions, they may all my such faults be dissolved.
Lesson 20, Amit Arvind Shah. This is on non-violence.
The first minor vow is to refrain from violence towards all living things. When will that auspicious day come in my life when I would take the vow not to kill deliberately, intentionally, or unknowingly any of the mobile beings, namely those with 2 senses, 3 senses, 4 senses, and 5 senses, except those that may inflict pain to my body or my dependents. Until I can take that vow, I shall not try to hurt or kill the smallest lives, or ask anyone else to do so, or encourage those who are doing so mentally, verbally, or physically. There are following 5 major violations pertaining to this vow of nonviolence. Number 1, confining any being inclusive of animals and birds where if it could hurt them or where there is no freedom. Number 2, hitting them with a stick or by any other means. Number 3, piercing nose, ears, or amputating limbs or any parts of the body. Number 4, making them carry heavy loads. Or number 5, depriving them of food, shelter, etc. If I have indulged in any of these acts above, then may all of such sins be dissolved.
Lesson 21, Milan Amit Shah.
The second minor vow is to refrain from speaking ghost lies. When would that auspicious day come in my life when I could take a vow or not to speak lies pertaining maritime matters, trading in animals or land, misrepresenting or denying somebody's properly disposed or becoming a false witness, etc. Until I could take this vow, I shall not try to lie or ask someone else to lie for me, or encourage those who indulge in these lies mentally, verbally, or physically. These are the following 5 major violations pertaining to this vow of truthfulness: uttering dreadful or shocking words, divulging someone's secrets, wrong advice, false witnessing or preaching, or false documentation or forgery. If I have indulged in any of the above acts, then may all my such sins be dissolved. Tasama Dukaram.
Milan Amit Shah, next lesson as well. Lesson 22, the vow of non-stealing.
The third minor vow is to refrain from theft. When will that auspicious day come in my life when I can take the vow not to take someone's belongings without permission, steal buried treasure, open someone's package, open someone's lock with another key, or knowingly take someone's belongings, stealing personally, asking someone else to do so for me, or encouraging others to do so mentally, verbally, or physically. Until I take this vow, I shall try to observe these principles in my life to the best of my abilities. These are the following 5 major violations pertaining to this vow of non-stealing. Number 1, buying stolen or smuggled goods. Number 2, helping any thief, burglar, or smuggler. Number 3, doing anything against the state or forbidden by law. Number 4, using inaccurate weighing or measuring instruments. Or number 5, adulteration or supplying inferior goods after showing superior variety. If I have indulged in any of the above acts, then may all my such sins be dissolved. Thus,
Lesson 23, Julie Shah, the vow of self-control over sensuality.
Anuvrat. The fourth minor vow is to refrain from gross sensuality. When will that auspicious day come in my life when I can take this vow to be content with my own spouse and forbid sensual pleasures with anybody other than spouse? This is to be observed in 3 ways: personally, asking someone else to do for me, and encouraging others to do so mentally, verbally, or physically. Until I take this vow, I shall try to observe these principles in my life to the best of my abilities. There are following 5 major violations pertaining to this vow of self-control over sensuality. 1, having marital relationship with minor spouse. 2, having premarital or extramarital relations. 3, having perverse relations. 4, getting others involved into sensual pleasures. Or 5, being obsessive towards sensual activities. If I have indulged in any of the above acts, then may all my such sins be dissolved. Tasamichami Dukram.
Lesson 24, Anya Janesha, limitation on accumulations.
The 5th minor vow is to lay down limitations on property and possessions. So when will that auspicious day come in my life when I can take the vow to set limits and accumulations of real estate, jewelry, garments, apparatus, and instruments, food, provisions, housewares, vehicles, etc. I shall try not to accumulate possessions over and above the limits so set. This is to be observed in 3 ways: personally, asking someone to do for me, or encouraging others to do so mentally, verbally, or physically. There are following 5 major violations pertaining to this vow of limitation or of accumulation. 1, accumulation too much open land or properties. Accumulating too much gold, silver, precious jewelry, etc. Accumulating too much cash. Accumulating too many vehicles, or accumulating too many housewares and equipment. If I have indulged in any of the other acts, in any of the above acts, then may all my such sins be dissolved.
Lesson 25, Nimit Shah, geographic limitations.
The first supporting vow is to restrict dealing within limited directions. When will that auspicious day come in my life when I can take the vow to set limitations on dealing in different directions? They are upward, downward, east, west, north, south, and I will stay within that. I shall not try to observe these limitations to the best of my abilities, and try not to cross them willingly and get involved in the 5 evils of violence, lies, theft, passion, and greed. I will not do it myself or ask someone else to do it for me, or encourage them to do so mentally, verbally, or physically. There are the following 5 major violations pertaining this vow of geographic limitations: crossing the limits of upward direction, crossing the limits of downward direction, crossing the limits of eastern, western, northern, or southern directions, curtailing the limit of one direction to extend the limits of another, or proceeding in spite indication the limit is over. If I have indulged in any of the above acts, then may all my sins be dissolved. Dasamachami Dukram.
Lesson 26, Charmi Kotari, the 7th vow, limitation on consumptions and occupations. Charmi Kotari.
Okay. The second supporting vow is to restrict the amount and number of articles which can be used and reused, and avoid occupations involving gross violence. When will that auspicious day come in my life when I can take the vow to restrict the number of towels, napkins, bathing water, garments, toothbrushes, oils, lotions, paste, cosmetics, ornaments, incenses, beverages, sweets, variety of grains, pulses, ghee, oil, milk, curds, green vegetables, fruits, number of items in diet, water, flowers, etc. I also desire that I be able to restrict the number of vehicles, footwear, beds, mattresses, animate things such as fruits with seeds, unboiled water, etc. I shall try to restrict to the best of my abilities from consuming or using such and other things, and not to exceed the set limits personally, asking someone else to do for me, or encouraging others to do so mentally, verbally, or physically. I shall also try not to get engaged in any occupation that involves gross violence to other living beings, personally asking someone else to do so, or encouraging others to do so mentally, verbally, or physically. There are following 5 major violations pertaining to this vow of limitation of consumption. Number 1, consuming animate things. Number 2, using inanimate things that are in contact with animate things. 3, consuming something that is partially cooked. 4, consuming something that is cooked in a cruel way. Or 5, consuming something in which there is less to eat and more to discard. If I have indulged in any of the above acts, then may all my such sins be dissolved. There are following 5 major violations pertaining to this vow of limitation of occupations. Number 1, occupations in which furnaces are used. Number 2, occupations in which trees are cut. Number 3, occupations in fermented goods such as liquor. Number 4, occupations of renting animals, birds, etc. Number 5, occupations involving excavations and explosions. Number 6, trades in ivory, bones, horns, fur, etc. Number 7, manufacturing activities concerned with crushing, etc. Number 8, trades in lard, honey, meat, fat, etc. Number 9, trades in sealing wax, etc. Number 10, trades in poisonous and toxic substances such as opium and pesticides, etc. Number 11, occupations in which animals, birds, fish, etc. are tortured or killed. Number 12, occupations in which animals, birds, etc. are amputated. Number 13, occupations in which fires are set in forests, fields, etc. Number 14, occupations in which lakes, wells, ponds, etc. are dried up. Or number 15, occupations in which wicked men, prostitutes, or call girls are supported. If I have indulged in any of the above acts, then may all my such sins be dissolved. Dasamachami dukaram.
Lesson 27, Arya Jain, restricting purposeless violence, 8th vow.
The third supporting vow is to refrain from purposeless and meaningless violence. When will that auspicious day come in my life when I can take the vow not to get involved in any of the meaningless violent activities? These activities are concentration on evil, cruel, or mournful thoughts, reluctance towards righteous or good deeds, possession of deadly weapons, and preaching of sinful acts, and one should not indulge in them in any of the 3 ways of doing personally, asking someone else to do it, or encouraging others to do it, so mentally, verbally, or physically. I shall try to observe these principles in my life to the best of my abilities. These are following 5 major violations pertaining to this vow of restrictions on purposeless violence: uttering words that would arouse passion, performing bad gestures, carefully speaking meaningless jargons, collecting deadly weapons, or excessive attachment towards consumer items. If I have indulged in any of the above acts, then may all of my such sins be dissolved. Dasamachami dukkadam.
Lesson 28, Arya Jain, Adya Jain. Samyak, self-control for short time. Samyak Vrat.
The training vow is to remain in self-control whenever an opportunity arises. I will undertake to do a asamic, that is self-control, for at least 48 minutes and do it falsely. During this, I will refrain from sinful and evil activities, personally asking someone else to do so, or encourage others to do so mentally, verbally, or physically. These are the following major violence observing to vow of self-control for short time. Mentally, including a foul way, using foul language, doing foul actings, performing satima, samaik, negatively and carelessly, or terminating prematurely. If I it prematurely. If I included in any of these above acts, may I all my such sin will be dissolved. Tazia
Lesson 29, Nimit Shah, 10th vow, day-to-day additional limits. Nimit Shah.
This vow is to put additional limits of the 6 directions for 1 day. From dawn of the day for 1 day and 1 night. I will observe this vow to limit myself from willful and physical movements in any of these directions, mentally, verbally, or physically. There are the following 5 major violations pertaining to this vow of the day-to-day additional limits. Calling for something or someone beyond the set limits, sending for something or someone beyond these set limits, sending anything beyond these set limits, summoning anyone beyond the set limits by shouting, or conveying any message beyond the set limits by gesture. If I have indulged in any of the above acts, then may all my sins be dissolved. Dasamachami dukram.
Lesson 30, Riya Metta, 11th vow, practicing the life of a monk.
This vow is to train the soul in pure religious activities for one day. When the circumstances arise, from the dawn of the day, for one day and one night, I will live like a monk, to become pure by doing so. That day I will observe fast or eat only once, abstain from passions, and avoid jewelry, gold, flower garlands, cosmetics, and all other worldly things. I will observe the same mentally, verbally, and physically. There are following 5 major violations pertaining to this vow of practicing the life of a monk: making bed carelessly without taking care of living beings, not sweeping or sweeping carelessly the place for making the bed, not watching carefully the places while walking, disposing the excrete carelessly without looking for living beings, or not following this vow in proper manner. If I have indulged in any of the above acts, then may all my such sins be dissolved. Tasamichami dukkadam.
Lesson 31, Rajas Metta, 12th vow, sharing with guests and others. Rajas Metta.
This vows to share food and provisions with saints or with whoever who may come to get food and provisions. I shall cherish desire of offering and sharing with religious saints and others who have renounced everything, who take only innocent water, food, other eatables, etc., who wear simple white clothes, use wooden pots and utensils, etc. There are following 5 major violations pertaining to this vow of sharing with guests and others. 1. Mixing inanimate and animate things when offering, covering inanimate and animate things with an intention to avoid offering, offering something which is spoiled, fermented, or stale, asking others to offer instead of offering myself, in spite of being personally able to offer, or indulging in pride for offering. If I've indulged in any of these above acts, then may all such sins may be dissolved.
Tasamichami dukram. Lesson 32, Jeet Metta, Santara, the religious fast to death.
When all the purposes of the life have been served, or when the body becomes unstable to serve any purpose, I wish to be able to adopt Santara, a religious fast to death. Then I would abandon all 18 types of sins and 4 types of foods. I would also abandon my body, which is very dear to my mind, the abode of my faith, like a box of ornaments containing precious stones. I would not care for the body in spite of feeling cold, hot, hungry, thirsty, or undergoing insect bites, troubles by other people, diseases including those which may cause delirium or other severe physical suffering. I wish to be able to abandon my body to my last breath. In this case, I would remain indifferent to death to the extent of my ability. At that time, I would sweep and clean the place of my need, would be very careful where I dispose the waste, lay a bed of grass or straw, sit on such bed, face the northeast direction, with cross-folded legs, or a posture possible under the state of health, with folded hands, saying, "Salutation to the Arihant Lord who have already attained moksha." Then I would bow to a guru, if present, and I would repent for my misdoing, violent acts, falsehood, theft, sensualities, and worldly belongings. During Santara, I wish to be able to shun all unworthy acts personally by me, or asking someone else to do for me, or encouraging others to do so mentally, verbally, or physically. There are following 5 major violations pertaining to this vow of Santara. First, desiring worldly status like becoming an emperor or wealthy after death. Second, desiring to become a divine personality after death. Third, desiring prolonged life with the view of becoming popular. Fourth, desiring early death in order to cut short the physical pain, etc. Or fifth, desiring sensual pleasures of the world. I shall try to avoid all such lapses, and if I do indulge in any of the above acts, then I pray that may all my such sin be dissolved.
Lesson 33, Amit Arvind Shah, Energy, Vigor.
I reflect on and confess wrongdoings, atichar, related to energy or strength. If I am guilty of any wrongdoings, atichar, of this matter, I request to be forgiven and my sins nullified. I might have been guilty of dissipated the energy or strength of the mind through sinful activities of the mind, or the energy or strength of speech through untruthful activities of the speech, or the energy or strength of the body through wicked activities of the body. From my birth until today and in previous lives, if I have been guilty of breaking or offending against any vow, whether I took it or not, knowingly or unknowingly, either by day or at night, by physical nature of activity, place, time, or desire, either partly or wholly, if I have been guilty of thinking of committing sins, of preparations for the commission of such sins, of attempting to commit such sins, or of actual commissions of the sins, or otherwise been guilty either by thought, speech, or action, or made someone else guilty or approved of any such lapse of guilt, then keeping the infinite arihants, the siddhas, and the revered kevalis as my witnesses, I wish to be forgiven and the sins nullified. If I've indulged in any of the above faults or lapse of physical, verbal, or mental activities, directly or indirectly, then I pray that my such faults be dissolved. Tasamichami Dukram.
Lesson 34, Mihir Shah, the 18 sinful activities. Mihir Shah. Can we turn off all phones, please? Thank you.
Lesson 34, the 18 sinful activities. In our life, we come across the following 18 sinful activities: to hurt or kill living beings, to lie, to steal, unchastity, worldly possessiveness, anger, pride, deception, greed, craving, aversion, quarreling, allegation, gossiping, criticism, being happy in sinful acts, being unhappy in religious acts, to lie maliciously, to trust wrong God, guru, or religion. If I have committed any of the above 18 sinful acts, personally, asked someone else to do for me, or encouraged others to do so, then in the presence of infinite siddhas and kevalis, I ask for forgiveness. May all my such sins be dissolved. Tasamachami Dukram.
Lesson 35, Paraksha, types of wrong belief. Mikhyatva.
There are 25 different types of wrong beliefs. Stubbornly supporting the false viewpoint without discrimination of true or false. Believing in all gods and teachers without discrimination. Persisting in views and opinions in spite of knowing that they could be false. Suspicious about true religion. Absolute ignorance. Celebrating so-called festive or holy occasions of God and teachers who do not conform to true religion. 7. Worshipping Tirthankars with selfish motives. 8. Agreeing with hypocrites. 9. Considering living as non-living. And 10. Considering non-living as living. 11. Considering saints or monks as non-saintly or no monk. 12. Considering non-saints or no monks as saints or monks. 13. Considering liberated souls as non-liberated. And 14. Considering non-liberated souls as liberated. Considering holy as unholy, and considering unholy as holy. 17. Considering the path of Jainism as equivalent to other paths. And 18. Considering other faiths as equivalent to Jainism. 19. Understating the facts of Jainism. 20. Overstating the facts of Jainism. Or 21. Stating contrary to the facts of Jainism. 22. Disrespecting teachers, saints, etc. 23. Not believing in religious practices. 24. Glorifying ignorance. And 25. Ill-behaving with teachers, saints, etc. If I have indulged in any of these 25 beliefs personally, asked or encouraged others to do so, then by the presence of the infinite Siddhas and Kevalis, I ask for forgiveness. May all my such faults be dissolved. Tassa Michamidakram.
Lesson 36, Nimitsha, thoughtfulness of my life. Back there.
I reflect on and confess my failure to think of the three aspirations, which are: when shall I get rid of possessions from minimum to maximum of it? When shall I give up living as a Shravak and resort to monkshood? And at last, regarding death, I wish I can accept fast until death and laying in one position without anybody's help, or with help of someone to change my laying down position on or while I'm moving around. If I have indulged in any of above faults or lapsed by physical, verbal, or mental activities directly or indirectly, then I pray that my such faults be dissolved. Tassa Machami Dakram.
Lesson 37, Anya Jinesha, auspicious fours.
Four auspicious entities. Arihants are auspicious. Siddhas are auspicious. Sadhus are auspicious. The religion taught by Kevalis is auspicious. I seek shelter in four. I seek shelter in Arihants. I seek shelter in Siddhas. I seek shelter in Sadhus. I seek shelter in the religion taught by Kevalis. Those who accept these four auspicious supreme entities and seek their shelters will cross the ocean of life and end all karmas. The endless happiness of moksha is obtained by them who sing their praises faithfully. In this world, these four are the only shelters, and there are no other shelters. Those who solicit the shelter of these four attain an imperishable eternal status. They attain moksha.
Lesson 38, Karina Shah, Obeisance to Sri Arihant and Kevali Lords.
First, I beg forgiveness from the present Tirthankars and Kevali lords, who dwell in the Panch Mahavidev Kshetra. By praising the virtues of these lords, even with slight interest, many karmas will be expelled. If this is done with deep interest, then one may earn the Tirthankar Gotra Nam Karma. Names of these 20 Tirthankars are Shri Simandhar Swami, Shri Jugmandar Swami, Shri Bahu Swami, Shri Subahu Swami, Shri Vajradhar Swami, Shri Chandranan Swami, Shri Chandra Bahu Swami, Shri Bhujang Dev Swami, Shri Sujat Nath Swami, Shri Swayam Prabh Swami, Shri Rishabhanan Swami, Shri Anantvirya Swami, Shri Suprabh Swami, Shri Vishal Prabh Swami, Shri Ishwar Swami, Shri Name Prabh Swami, Shri Virsen Swami, Shri Mahabhadra Swami, Shri Deva Jassa Swami, and Shri Ajit Sen Swami. To these 20 to 160 Tirthankars and to 30 to 90 million Kevali lords be our salutations at every moment. How are these lords? Such are these lords who know and perceive our thoughts, who know and perceive every happening, who know and perceive the occurrences of all times, and who see the 14 Rajloks as clearly as water taken in hands. These lords have infinite knowledge, jnana, infinite vision, darshan, infinite character, charitra, infinite austerity, tap, infinite patience, dharya, and infinite vigor, virya. They bear 6 virtues. The Tirthankars bear 34 unique qualities, 35 types of truth-involving speeches, 1,008 excellences, are devoid of 18 violations, and bear 12 virtues. They all have already done away with the 4 Ghati karmas and are desirous of destroying the remaining 4 Agati karmas for going to Mukti Shila. They solve the doubts of jeeves, they possess all the means, and they are able-bodied, Keval Gnani, Keval Darshi, and possess the God-said character. They possess perfect true faith, topmost meditation, purest hue, and purest virtues. By the 64 Indras, they are worth adoring, saluting, and worshipping. They possess the greatest vigor and such other virtues. Blessed are those villages, cities, townships, and the capital cities where these lords must be preaching. There the kings, ministers, family heads, community heads, and such other personalities listening to the preachings of the lords must be purifying their ears. They are blessed. Seeing the Lord and having a glance at him, they must be purifying their eyes. They are blessed. By giving away the provisions, food, water, etc., and 14 such other types of donations, they must be purifying their hands. They are blessed. O great lords, you dwell in Panch Mahavidev Kshetra, and I, a sinner, humble servant, virtueless, am sitting here. Any sins pertaining to your jnana, darshan, charitra, and tap, whatever disrespect, ill behavior, ill worship, or offense has been committed, then with folded hands, shunning pride, and bowed head, I repeatedly beg for your forgiveness. Tassamachami Dakram.
Lesson 39, Aryan Shah. Obeisance to Sri Siddha Lords.
Lesson 39, Obeisance to Sri Siddha Lords. Second, I beg forgiveness from the infinite Siddha Lords. By praising the virtues of these lords, even with the slight interest, many karmas will be expelled. If this is done with the deep interest, then one may earn the Tirthankar Gotra Nam Karma. The names of the 24 Tirthankars who have become Siddhas from Bharat Kshetra in this time cycle of a Sarpini Kal are Shri Rishabdev Swami, Shri Ajit Nath Swami, Shri Sambhav Nath Swami, Shri Abhinath Swami, Shri Sumati Swami, Shri Padma Prabhu Swami, Shri Suparshvanath Swami, Shri Chandra Prabhu Swami, Shri Suvdinath Swami, Shri Chitalnath Swami, Shri Shreyanshnath Swami, Shri Vasapujya Swami, Shri Vimalnath Swami, Shri Anantnath Swami, Shri Dharmanath Swami, Shri Shanti Nath Swami, Shri Kuntu Nath Swami, Shri Aranath Nath Swami, Shri Malinath Swami, Shri Muni Suvrat Swami, Shri Naminath Swami, Shri Neminath Swami, Shri Parshvanath Swami, and Shri Mahavir Swami. I offer obeisance at every moment to these 24 Tirthankars and infinite others who lived earlier, who have destroyed all 8 types of karmas and have been liberated. The 8 types of karmas are knowledge obscuring karma, Gnan Varnya karma, perception obscuring karma, Darshana Varnya, feeling producing karma, Vedaniya karma, delusion causing karma, Mohaniya karma, lifespan determining karma, Ayushya karma, physique determining karma, Nam karma, status determining karma, Gotra karma, inability causing karma, Anantara karma. Destroying all these 8 karmas, they dwell above Muktashila, the platform of liberation. Where is this Muktashila? First comes the Jyotish Chakra. 760 jojans away from this earth is the galaxy of stars. 10 jojans further is the abode of the sun. 80 jojans above that is the abode of the moon. 4 jojans above that is the abode of the constellations. 4 jojans above that is the abode of Mercury. 3 jojans above that is the abode of Venus. 3 jojans above that is the abode of Jupiter. 3 jojans above that is the abode of Mars. And lastly, 3 jojans above that is the abode of Saturn. Thus, till 900 jojans extends the Jyotish Chakra. Millions of yojans away from there are 12 devloks. Innumerable jojans above these are 9 gravyaks. Innumerable jojans above that are the 5 highest abodes. 12 jojans above the banners of these great abodes is the Muktashila. How is this Muktashila? This Muktashila has a diameter of 4.5 million jojans, has a central thickness of 8 jojans, and its circumference is as thin as the wings of a fly, and is as bright as a cow's milk, the moon, a gem, a silver bar, a pearl necklace, or even the milky ocean, even brighter than them all combined. 1 jojan above this Muktashila, in the 6th part of its last 2 miles, dwell the blemishless, formless Siddha lords. These Siddhas are colorless, odorless, matterless, formless, imperishable, hungerless, miseryless, diseaseless, without sadness, birthless, ageless, deathless, bodiless, karmaless, eternal and abode of unending bliss and happiness. Great are thou, O lords. You dwell in Siddha Kshetra, in the state of liberation, and I, a sinner, a humble servant, virtueless, am sitting here. If I have indulged in any lapses pertaining to your knowledge, perception, character, and austerities, or if I have been instrumental of any disrespect, ill behavior, ill worship, or offense, then with the folded hands, shunning pride, and bowed head, I repeatedly beg for your forgiveness. Samichami Dukram.
Lesson 40, Julie Shah, Obeisance to Sri Sadhvijis. Why don't you go and continue?
Third, I beg forgiveness from the Ganadhars and past and present Acharyas, Upadhyas, and Sadhu Sadhvis. The Ganadhars possess 52 virtues, Acharyas possess 36 virtues, Upadhyas possess 25 virtues, and Sadhus possess 27 virtues. We are truly indebted to our religious teachers, preceptors, and preachers who are great scholars, great monks, great men, and who know the essence of the scriptures and are well versed in it. They are on the path of salvation, and they guide others on the same path. They are like a boat or a voyage ship, helping us to cross the ocean of life. They are like a wish-fulfilling gem, ornamental to the Jain religion. Also, all the Ganadhars and many Acharyas, Upadhyas, and Sadhus have already attained liberation or heaven by repentance, criticism of their own sins, etc. So we are highly obliged to them. Also in the universe, there are at present acharyas, and upadhyas possessing similar virtues, all under the command of Sri Vitrag lords. Their number may range from 200 to 900 million. Let our repeated salutations be to them. How are these masters? They are followers of the 5 great vows of nonviolence, truth, non-stealing, celibacy, and possessionlessness. They practice 5 samitis that lay down ways and methods of carrying out essential activities of life, and 3 guptis pertaining to control of mind, speech, and body. They have innate affection for all 6 types of living beings. They are free from 7 types of fears and 8 types of prides. They practice absolute celibacy, strictly following the 9 guidelines. They practice the 10-fold religion of the monks. They practice 12 types of austerities and 17 types of restraints. They are overcome and all 22 types of adversities and are embedded with 27 attributes of the monks. They take food free from all violations. They avoid indulging in the 52 types of misdoings. They have abandoned the use of animate things and use only inanimate things. They have abandoned wealth and passions and the worldly attachments. They are oceans of equanimity and are full of sympathy and virtues. You dwell in villages, townships, cities, etc. And I, a sinner, humble servant, virtueless, am sitting here. If I have indulged in any lapses pertaining to your knowledge, perception, character, and austerities, or if I have been instrumental of any disrespect, ill behavior, ill worship, or offense, then with folded hands, shunning pride, and bowed heads, I repeatedly beg for your forgiveness. Tasami Chami Dukram.
Lesson 41, Sanjay Sangvi. Salutations to Sri Shravak and Shravikas.
Next, I beg forgiveness from the Shravak Shravikas, the lay followers of true faith, who are numerable within Adidweep, 2.5 islands, and innumerable outside Adidweep. These Adidweeps are Jambudweep, Dataktidan and a half of Pushkarwar Deep. Each Dweep consists of 3 Kshetras regions, which are Bharat, Mahavideh, and Airavat Kshetras. How are these Shravak and Shravikas? They exceed you and me in charity, character, austerity, virtues, etc. They do Pratikraman, inclusive of 6 essentials, twice a day. In a month, they do 2, 4, or 6 poshads or live saintly lives. With true faith, they bear the 12 vows, 11 meditations, and 3 aspirations. They have sympathy towards all weaker lives. They know the 9 fundamentals of life. They bear the 21 virtues of the Shravaks. They consider others' wealth and possessions as totally useless to them, like stones. They consider all men and women except their spouses as father, sons, or mothers and sisters. They are firmly religious and are unshakable even by deities. Their spirit of religion is marrow deep. If I have indulged in any disrespect, misbehavior, or offense to such Shravak and Shravikas, then with folded hands, shunning pride, and bowed head, I repeatedly beg for their forgiveness.
Tasami Chami Dukram.
I apologize to Shravak and Shravikas. I apologize to those who bear true vision. I apologize to the obliging brothers and sisters. I apologize to the parents. I also apologize to the 8.4 million types of lives which are as under. 700,000 earth-bodied, 700,000 water-bodied, 700,000 fire-bodied, 700,000 air-bodied, 1 million vegetable-bodied, 1.4 million ordinary vegetable and plant-bodied, 200,000 Bendriya, souls with 2 senses, 200,000 Tendriya, soul with 3 senses, 200,000 Choindriya, soul with 4 senses, 400,000 hellish beings, 400,000 heavenly beings, 400,000 beasts and Panchandriyas, soul with 5 senses, 1.4 million human beings. While trespassing, getting up or sitting down, knowingly or unknowingly, if I have slain or have gotten there slain, pierced or cut, pained or tortured any of these living beings, then in the presence of Arihants and infinite Siddha Lords, I pray for my sins being dissolved. Tasam Ichchami Dukram. I forgive all, may all forgive me. I am friendly to all, I have enmity for none.
Lesson 42, Arnav Doshi, Obeisance to Five Supremes.
I bow down to Arihants, Siddhas, Acharyas, Upadhyas, and to the universal fraternity of Sadhus and Sadhvis. This fivefold obeisance destroys all sins and is the foremost among all the auspicious activities.
Lesson 43, Arya Amit Shah, Desire for Atonement.
O forgiving Gurudev, I offer obeisance while keeping away from all sins to the extent of my power. O forgiving Gurudev, bowing my head, I ask for your forgiveness for the faults that have been done and the sins committed while undertaking essential activities during the day. O forgiving Gurudev, I will refrain from all the 33 unworthy acts, false notions, evil mind, rude word, or improper physical act, anger, pride, deception, or greed, which upset every religious vow by undue behavior. O forgiving Gurudev, I repent for such unworthy acts, and in your presence I atone for the same, and I will keep my soul away from all sins.
Lesson 44, Neil Chokshi, Uplifting the Soul.
I do kotsag, that is, forsake all activities by adopting a motionless posture, for repenting and achieving further purification, and for nullifying and destroying my sins and karmas. By remaining at one place for uplifting my blemished soul. Let my kosag be unbroken and not violated from exceptions such as breathing in or out, coughing, sneezing, yawning, burping, passing bodily gases, dizziness, vomiting sensation, fainting, subtle bodily movements such as swallowing sputum or flickering of eyes, or by fear of thieves, king, fire, fierce animals, etc., until I complete it by mentally reciting Navkarpad to the Arihants. I will keep my body steady at one place in complete silence and meditation, and keep away from all sinful activities.
Now if we can all do Kausak for 4 Nokar mantra. Namo Orientanam. Lesson 45, Ahan Sangvi, prayer to the 24 Tirthankars and all Siddhas.
I chant, appreciate, and praise Arihant Lords and the Kevali Lords, who are the destroyers of karma enemies, conquerors of love, hatred, founders of fourfold sanghas, and who cause luminescence in the entire world, entire universe. I bow down to them. The names of these 24 Tirthankars are Sri Rishabdev Swami, Sri Ajitnath Swami, Sri Sambhavnath Swami, Sri Abhinandan Swami, Sri Sumatinath Swami, Sri Padma Prabhu Swami, Sri Suparshnath Swami, Sri Chandra Prabhu Swami, Sri Subhidinath Swami, Sri Vimalnath Swami, Sri Sritanath Swami, Sri Riyanshnath Swami, Sri Vasuputya Swami, Sri Vimalnath Swami, Sri Anantanath Swami, Sri Dharmanath Swami, Sri Shantinath Swami, Sri Kundunath Swami, Sri Aratnath Swami, Sri Malinath Swami, Sri Muni Surbat Swami, Sri Naminath Swami, Sri Neminath Swami, Sri Parshnath Swami, and Sri Mahavir Swami. May these 24 Tirthankars and other Kavalis who have shred off the karmic particles, who have destroyed and ended the cycles of birth, aging and death, be pleased with me. O Lord Siddhas, you are supreme in the universe, free from karmas. I have praised you verbally, bowed down to you physically, and worshipped you mentally. Hence do bestow upon me the benefit of true faith and deep meditation, and may you give me the supreme position of Siddha. O Lord Siddha, purer than the moon, brighter than the sun, calmer than the oceans, confer upon me the blessed liberation. Doing Pratikraman with right faith, I offer obeisance to the 24 Jineshwars by three means, which are mentally, verbally, and physically. Thus, having repented for sins and having reverted back from sins, having criticized the sins, having become free from thorns, I repeatedly apologize to Arihants, Siddhas, teachers, preceptors, sadhus, and gurus. Thus, I take a vow from now until sunrise to abstain from the forgiving four kinds of foods: solid foods, drinks, dry fruits, and mouth-freshening spices. I would pardon if anything was forced into my mouth, or if I put anything in mouth unintentionally, or if I have to break this vow as per instruction of my religious teachers to prevent my meditations from being disturbed by obsession. O Lord, first Saimak, second Chobi Sando, third Vandana, fourth Pratikraman, fifth Kausak, and sixth Panchkan. All the six essentials have been completed. Regarding this, if any letter, word, verse has been undersaid, oversaid, or otherwise said, then in the presence of Arihants and infinite Siddhalords, I pray that the said lapses be dissolved. Pratikraman done with false belief is equivalent to being without vows, and that is done in reluctance is equivalent to being involved in passions. In such cases, the rituals may subject to different lapses and violations. If I had been involved in thinking of committing such violations, Atikram made preparation for the commissions of such violations, Vyatikram, or attempted to commit such violations, Atichar, or actually committed the violations, Anachar, knowingly or unknowingly, then in the presence of Arihants and infinite Siddha Lords, I pray that all my such faults be resolved. Regarding Pratikraman of the past deeds, Sanvar of the present ones, and Panchkan for the time to come, if any sins or lapses are unknowingly or unknowingly occurred, then in the presence of Arihants and infinite Siddha Lords, I pray that my such faults be dissolved. Michhami Dukram.
Lesson 46, Jiten Kothari, Obeisance to Five Supremes.
I bow down to Arihants, Siddhas, Acharyas, Upadhyayas, and to the universal fraternity of sadhus and sadhvis. This fivefold obeisance destroys all sins and is the foremost among all the auspicious activities.
Lesson 47, Arya Jain, Universal Forgiveness and Friendship.
Kamemi Savajiva. I grant forgiveness to all living beings. Savajiva kamantume. All living things grant me forgiveness. Miti me savebuesu. My friendship is with all living beings. Viramacha manakene. My enmity is totally non-existent.
Now let's all say together the following part. Michhami dukram to everyone. Michhami dukram to the entire community. Michhami dukram to all living beings of the entire universe. You're all doing very well. We're almost there now. We're now going to go to the last few lessons that will basically be the end of Samaik. Lesson 48, Tejal Sangvi.
Namo Arihantanam, I bow down to Arihants. Namo Siddhanam, I bow down to Siddhas. Namo Ayariyanam, I bow down to Acharyas. Namo Uvajjayanam, I bow down to Upadhyayas. Namo Loe Savasahunam, I bow down to the universal fraternity of the sadhus and the sadhvis. This fivefold obeisance destroys all sins and is foremost among all auspicious activities.
Lesson 49, Diya Doshi, 36 attributes of my preceptor. This is the Panchindiya Sutra.
The preceptor effectively controls 5 sense organs and observes 9 guidelines and limitations of celibacy. He or she is free from the 4 passions of anger, ego, deceit, and greed. He or she is thus equipped with these 18 attributes. He or she practices 5 great vows of nonviolence, truth, non-accepting anything unless specifically offered, celibacy, and non-possession. He or she is capable to observe the fivefold code of knowledge, perception, conduct, austerity, and vigor. He or she observes 5 careful actions pertaining to movements, utterance, desires, acceptance, and disposal. He or she effectively controls these 3 aspects of mind, speech, and body. My preceptor is thus embedded with these 36 attributes.
Lesson 50, Arav Jinesha, the obeisance to teachers.
With 3 times clockwise movements of the folded hands, I bow down and kneel down to you. I honor you, Lord, and I respect you. You are blessed, you are auspicious, and you are divine. You are learned, and you are give peace to our souls.
Lesson 51. I actually don't have anyone that signed up for this. Any volunteers? Oh my. Okay, whoever is near to the microphone. There we go.
Lesson 51. I desire to free myself from all my sins. I have made pain living beings while walking on the road, while coming or going. I may have crushed living beings, seeds, plants, dew, animals, spiderwebs, live water, or live earth, whatever living beings or souls with 1 sense, 2 sense, 3 senses, 4 senses, or 5 senses, that I may have inflicted pain, crushed, attacked, covered with dust, rubbed, collided with one another, tormented by turning on one side or completely upside down, moved from one place or another, frightened, body, alarmed, or separated from my life, may all such sins be dissolved. Dasamachami Dukaram.
Lesson 52, Mahavir Jain, uplifting the soul.
I do Kayotsarg, that is forsake all activities by adopting a motionless posture for repenting and achieving further purification, and for nullifying and destroying my sins and karmas by remaining at one place for uplifting of my blemished soul. Let my Kayotsarg be unbroken and not violated from exceptions such as breathing in or out, coughing, sneezing, yawning, burping, passing bodily gases, dizziness, vomiting sensations, fainting, subtle bodily movements such as swallowing sputum or flickering of eyes, or by thieves, king, fire, fierce animals, etc. Until I complete it by mentally reciting Navkarpad to the Arhyans, I will keep my body steady at one place in complete silence and meditation and keep away from all sinful activities.
Now, if we can all say, do a Kausak for 4 Nukar mantra. Lesson 53, Deep Sangvi, prayer to the 24 Tirthankars and all Siddhas.
I chant, appreciate, and praise Arihant Lords and the Kevali Lords, who are the destroyers of karma enemies, conquerors of love and hatred, founders of fourfold Sangh, and who cause luminescence in the entire universe. I bow down to them. The names of these 24 Tirthankars are Shri Rishabdev Swami, Shri Ajitnath Swami, Shri Sambhavnath Swami, Shri Abhinandan Swami, Shri Sumtinath Swami, Shri Padma Prabhu Swami, Shri Suparshvanath Swami, Shri Chandra Prabhu Swami, Shri Suvidinath Swami, Shri Shitalnath Swami, Shri Shreyansnath Swami, Shri Vasupujya Swami, Shri Vimalnath Swami, Shri Anantanath Swami, Shri Dharmanath Swami, Shri Shantinath Swami, Shri Kuntunath Swami, Shri Arnath Swami, Shri Mallinath Swami, Shri Munisuvrat Swami, Shri Naminath Swami, Shri Neminath Swami, Shri Parshvanath Swami, and Shri Mahavir Swami. May these 24 Tirthankars and other Kevali Jinas who have removed the karma particles, who have destroyed and ended the cycle of aging and death, be pleased with me. O Lord Siddhas, you are supreme in the universe, free from karmas. I have praised you verbally, bowed down to you physically, and worshipped you mentally. Hence, do bestow upon me the benefit of true faith and deep meditation, and may you give me the supreme position of Siddha. O Lord Siddhas, purer than the moon, brighter than the sun, calmer than oceans, confer upon me the blessed liberation.
Okay, now we're going to do the Maupati. Ichha kain sandisa bhagavan samaik Maupati padileu ichham. So please go ahead, as Nitin Bhai showed us earlier. Open up your Maupati, rotate once. And as we do that, we're going to say, I discard 3 types of perception, obstructing, delusion, karma. Rotate one more time. I discard 3 types of attachments, sensual, affection, and vision related. Now, put the Maupati on your left arm and fold it. And then fold it about an inch from the side that is closed. And then see if you can gather it on your right hand. And now put the Maupati on the left arm and fold the arm, and we are going to say, move the Maupati up your left arm, saying, and we'll say, accept, and with that we'll say, I accept right Dev, right Guru, and right religion. And then moving it back down, we say, I discard wrong Dev, wrong Guru, and wrong religion. Moving up again, I accept right knowledge, right faith, and right conduct. Moving down, I discard wrong knowledge, wrong faith, and wrong conduct. And then moving it up the 3rd time, I accept control of activities of mind, speech, and body. I discard inauspicious activities of mind, speech, and body. And with that, for the last vibrating, the Maupati on your left hand again, we go, I discard harmful laughter, happiness in sinful activities, and unhappiness in spiritual activities. Holding it on your left hand, to vibrate on your right hand, you go, I discard fear, sorrow, and disgust. So with that, you fold your Maupati back again. And we'll now do the Vandana. Ichha me khama samno vandiyum javani jaye nisihiaye anujanam me moanguo nisihi aho kayam kilamo apakilanatanam bahu sabhenam bhe divaso vaikato janta be jamvarnij jancha be khame me khama samno. Now we move on to lesson 54. I've got Tejal Sangvi. Oh, sorry, that was the Moti Shanti. We're not doing that. That's true. Lesson 55. Actually, instead of the Moti Shanti, we have somebody who's able to do the Nani Shanti. So please go ahead.
Shantim Shanti Nishantam Shantam Shanti Sivam Namaskritya Stotum Shanti Nimittam Mantrapati Shante Stomi Om iti Nischita Vachase Namo Namo Bhagavate Harate Pujam Shanti Chinaya Jaivate Yashashvine Swamine Daminama Saklati Chajakmaha Sampatti Samanvataya Shashaya Trilokya Pujitaya Cha Namo Namo Shanti Devaya Sarvamarsa Samoha Swamika Sampujitaya Najitaya Bhuvana Jalapalana Dhyata Tamaya Satatam Namastasmai Sarvadurito Ghanashana Karaya Sarva Shiva Prashamanaya Dushtagraha Bhuta Pisacha Shakini Nama Pramathanaya Yasheti Nama Mantra Pradhana Vakya Prayoga Krutatosha Vijaya Kurute Janahita Miti Chinuta Namatam Shante Bahute Bhavatu Namaste Bhagavate Vijay Sujay Paraparajite Aparajite Jagatyam Jayatiti Jayavahe Bhavati Sarvasyapi Sangach Bhadra Kalyana Mangala Pradade Sadhunam Cha Sadasiva Sutushti Pushti Pradejiya Bhavyanam Kruta Siddhe Nirvutti Nirvana Janani Sattvanam Abhay Pradana Nirte Namostu Swasti Pradetubhyam Bhaktanam Jantunam Subhavahe Nityamuttade Devi Samyakya Drishtinam Dhruti Ratimati Buddhi Pradhanaya Jina Shasana Nirtanam Shanti Nitanam Chajakti Jantanam Shri Sampat Kirti Yasho Vardhani Jai Devi Vijayasva Salila Nala Visha Vishadhara Dushtagra Rajaroga Rana Bhayata Rakshish Ripu Ganmari Chauriti Swapadatibhyam Atharaksha Raksha Suyusivam Kuru Kuru Santim Cha Kuru Kuru Sadeti Tushtim Kuru Kuru Pushtim Kuru Kuru Swastim Cha Kuru Kuru Tvam Bhagavati Gunvate Shiv Shanti Tushti Pushti Kurte He Jananam Om iti Namo Namo Ram Rim Rum Ram Yahaksha Rim Fut Fut Swaha Evam Yannamakshara Purasaram Sansuta Jaya Devi Kurte Shanti Namtanam Namo Namo Shante Tasme Iti Purva Suridarshita Mantrapada Vitrapitastav Sante Salilati Vinashi Shantyadi Karaksha Bhakti Nam Yaschenam Parti Shada Shrunoti Bhavithaya Yogam Shai Shanti Padayayata Surishri Manadevascha Upasargakshayam Yanti Chidyante Vignavallaya Mana Prasannatameti Pujimane Jineshware Sarvamangalya Mangalyam Sarvakalyana Pradhanam Sarvadharmanam Jainam Jaiti Shashanam.
Thank you. Lesson 55, Julie Shah, the procedure to complete Samai. Okay.
I have completed Samaik subject to the limitations of matter, space, time, and attitude. In this vow of Samaik, there were 5 faults to be avoided. They were 1. Mentally indulging in a foul way, 2. Indulging in foul language, 3. Indulging in foul acts, 4. Negligence or carelessness, and 5. Terminating it too soon. If I have indulged in any of the above, then may all such faults be dissolved. Tasa michami dukram. If I have not been behaved properly, not observed properly, not worshipped properly, or ordained by the Lord Vitrag, then may all my lapses be dissolved. While performing Samaik, if I have indulged in any of the mental gossips about sex, food, or politics, then may all such faults be dissolved. While performing Samaik, if I've ever fallen a prey to any of the 4 instincts of appetite, fear, passion, or possessiveness, then may all of my such lapses be dissolved. While performing Samaik, if I have thought of committing violations, Pratikraman, made preparation for the commission of such violations, Vratkama, attempted to commit such violations, Atichara, or actually committed the violations, Anachara, of any restraints, then may all my such lapses be dissolved. Samaik Vrat was undertaken, performed, and completed in a professed manner. If any error has crept in, then may all such lapses be dissolved. While performing Samaik during recitation, if any scriptural errors have been committed by way of omissions, inclusions, or variations of the text, then may all of my errors be dissolved. Tasa michami dukram. They are my religious teachers, preceptors, and preachers, conferrers of true faith and knowledge, the ornaments of path of Jainism, and are worthy of many titles. I offer obeisance to them now and again, and let it reach wherever they may be.
We now will do our Kausak for 1 Nokar mantra. now for the very last lesson. It's also really the Nukar mantra, obeisance to the five supremes. Let's all say it together and repeat it 3 times. Namo Arihantanam. Foremost among all auspicious activities. Namo Arihantanam, I bow down to Arihantas. Namo Siddhanam, I bow down to the Siddhas. Namo Ayariyanam, I bow down to the Acharyas. Namo Uvajayanam, I bow down to the Upadhyayas. Namo Loe Sava Sahunam, I bow down to the universal fraternity of sadhus and sadhvis. This profound obeisance destroys all sins and is the foremost among all auspicious activities. Namo Arihantanam, I bow down to Arihants. Namo Siddhanam, I bow down to Siddhas. Namo Ayariyanam, I bow down to the Acharyas. Namo Uvajayanam, I bow down to the Upadhyayas. Namo Loe Sava Sahunam, I bow down to the universal fraternity of sadhus and sadhvis. This fivefold obeisance destroys all sins and is the foremost among all that auspicious activities. Thank you. With that, we end Pratikraman. Thank you. You all were wonderful in terms of participating. If there were any mistakes, then please grant me Michami Dukram. And with them, Michami Dukram to everyone. Thank you.
If I could ask everybody that has a copy of today's Pratikraman to bring the papers back up here so that we can reuse them for next year. Thank you.
Is someone able to say the Pachkan? Because we've got some request for saying Pachkan here. Does someone know how to say Pachkan? Okay, we have Auntie here who can say Pachkan. If you want to come up front, she might be able to help you.